again. Much better. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Nigel and welcome back to my channel. Now, I can say that the response I've gotten from my first video, Who Wants to Be a YouTuber, has been absolutely unreal and overwhelming, essentially. So, you know what, I thought the best way to follow up would be to show you exactly how I produce that content. Alright, so that is exactly what I'm going to do today. The main thing that I've been asked is, how did I figure out how many videos I needed? I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you on my computer. Alright, let's do it. I'm going to be brief because I could go into a lot of detail. So to figure out how many videos I needed, I required a visual way to represent that, and I did that inside of Excel. There are 15 questions with answers A, B, C, and D. I used the letters X, Y, and Z to represent my lifelines. If the letter is inside square brackets, that means that that lifeline is currently being used. If it's in round brackets with a tilde, that means that that lifeline has been used previously. The most important thing are these yellow squares here. Every yellow square represents a video that I had to make. So this mind map follows a top-down model. As you progress through the game, as you get your answers correct, you move downwards. However, if you use a lifeline, then that represents a horizontal shift and you fall into one of these columns here. You'll notice that there's an extra yellow box because I needed an extra video to explain the lifeline and for it to actually be executed. If you get your lifeline question correct, then you move over into this area here, depending on which lifeline you use, and you progress downwards as normally. Alright, so now a similar thing, if you decide to use a second lifeline, you appear over here into one of these 6 columns here. And if you get your answer correct, then you move over into here. And if you're in here, then you progress downwards as normally. Alright, if you decide to use your last lifeline, then you pop over horizontally here and you select your answer. And if you get that one correct, then you move into the final column where everything kind of comes together and you progress downwards from there until you get to question 15, of course. So if we go out and visualize the entire project, this is essentially what it looks like there. All that you need to do is go ahead and count up all the yellow squares in there. I've already done it for you. There's 1,160, plus I had 2 additional videos for the introduction and the play again. Yes, this was insane. Now that we figured out how many videos I needed to create all my 15 questions. I also had to figure out how all my lifelines worked, including the 50-50, the Ask the Comments lifeline. And I also went through other creators' videos to find the audio that I needed for my Ask the YouTuber lifeline. You know what, we've been in my computer for too long, let's come out of it. I was very particular about filming. I set up a green screen in my room held up by PVC pipe. I set up a floodlight in my room to give myself even lighting and didn't cast shadows on my green screen. I put pieces of tape down on my carpet to mark the positions of both my stool and my tripod for consistency. So this is basically how the filming process worked. I had an electronic writing pad on which I would write the video code on. What I would have to do for each video is update the video code, start recording, show the camera the code, sit down, and say whatever I needed to say. I only had to memorize the question, everything else was improvised. At the end of each video, I would have to sit for 20 seconds to allow the end cards at the end of the video to roll. So you can imagine that there are many, many awkward pauses. Imagine doing this 84 times per question. That is how the Nigel do. With each question, it would take about 2 to 3 hours to film. Now onto the editing phase. I'm going to keep the editing process really brief, but here's some of the things that I had to do. The first thing was to clean up the audio. You can see all this ugly static and background noise that my phone picked up. I had to remove that from every single video. There we go, so much nicer. Now I assembled everything inside of Adobe Premiere. Now how I broke things down was that each question had its own project, and then the sequences inside each project are the video codes that we discussed earlier. Now it was very easy to go from one question to the next, because all that I really had to do was assemble one, and then I could just replace the footage here and update it for the next question, so it made the process very easy and was a very optimized way of doing things. I would just have to change some timings and a couple little things here and there, but it made the process very, very easy. The next step was uploading. You can only upload 100 videos a day to the website, so just to upload everything took about 12 days to do. During that time though, I put it to good use. I created some Python scripts to help me automate many of the repetitive tasks. This included pasting the titles, the descriptions, and the end cards. I also had programs which went through all my videos and cross-checked pretty much every link. I also had to pretty much put every video inside of a playlist. The thing is that with end cards, they show the timestamp of the video, and it's pretty easy to tell which answer is the correct one. So I had to create a bunch of playlists. The problem is that you can only make 25 playlists at a time about every 7 hours, so that time really added up. Also, with all my Python scripts, they pretty much reference this Excel sheet where I have everything laid out with all the links. So yeah, you can see what I was dealing with. So I hope you enjoyed the brief glimpse into what it actually took to make this project. I initially had this idea back in May of 2016. That's the oldest file of this that I can find, but I only had the ability to pursue this in January 2018, so it's been a long time coming. And so to actually make this, I'm just going to recap. It's been about 4 months, 500 hours, 1,162 videos, 992 playlists, 18 hours of raw footage, 13 and a half hours of footage that I edited and uploaded, wrote 20 programs to help me out with this entire project, and it's 265 gigabytes, which is insane. Now, was it worth all that trouble? Well, you can say that the results have been smashing. Yes, the response is just overwhelming. I can't believe it. I'm currently sitting at about 8,500 subscribers, which thank you so much. I've got 91,000 views on my first video, about 630,000 views overall, 300,000 watch minutes, and more comments than I can reply to. So thank you so much for your love and support. But before I end things off, I just want to get a little personal and close with you guys. There. So I am both extremely excited and immensely terrified of what the future holds. I'm extremely excited because this is an amazing opportunity that I have in front of me. The response has been more than I expected, and I want to see just how far we can take this. I would much rather take this kind of creative pursuit to a career rather than the engineering career that my parents want me to get. Shh, don't tell them I said that. All right. On the other hand, I am indeed scared because I have seen other channels that have gotten kind of this immediate overnight success, and they don't know what to do with it. They don't have the experience or the drive or the grind behind what makes a real successful YouTube channel, and I'm kind of in that spot at the moment. And for a lot of them, they just fade into obscurity, and I don't want that to happen. Trust me, I don't want to. So I think the best course of action is just to stay humble and hustle hard. Alright, so now in terms of what I want to do on my channel, I think the big focus that I want to do is I want to focus on these large projects like the one that you just saw. The thing is with these large projects is they're likely on the timescale of a month to several months. We'll just see how things go. So to break up kind of that dry spell in between these major projects, I'm thinking of doing either comedy, skits, or commentary, something like that in there. So wait for that. In terms of my next big project, I've already started production. I'm expecting that it will take about a month to month and a half. We will have to see how things pan out. It's going to have a very different feel than my Who Wants to Be a YouTuber. I don't want to give away a whole lot of details. I'm being very cryptic about it for the time being. In terms of Who Wants to Be a YouTuber, with the amazing response that I've gotten, I will definitely be making another. I've already started thinking of questions to ask. But you know, there's only so much YouTube that I know and that I can consume. So if you have any questions or any ideas that you'd like to see, especially from different genres than I covered in the first one, please let me know in the comments below. I would much appreciate that. And we'll see if your comment gets in the next episode of Who Wants to Be a YouTuber. So until then, thank you again so much for the love and support, and I will see you for my next large project. Thank you.
Then in small creator awesome, I wanted to pimp out Nigel's life. As of recording this video, he only has 264 subscribers. And he put out this interactive video called Who Wants to Be a YouTuber? And the amount of work and the number of videos this guy had to make this possible is awesome. Because in addition to the 15 questions, there is a video for every possible selection. And then also videos for each question that involve if you use a 50-50 lifeline and ask the comments lifeline, and call a YouTuber lifeline. And then versions of the questions where you've used 1, 2, or all of your lifelines. Altogether, it looks like it's 1,162 videos. And I just respect the amount of time that this guy put into it that I had to share it. And if you want to see the full versions of everything I just shared, the secret link of the day, anything at all, links as always are in the description down below. Then you might remember that fire that swept through the border of Oregon and Washington State last year?